Hey guys, Dr. Justin Marcagiani here. Today we're going to be talking all about the best sea salt brands for your adrenals and help improve your adrenal function. And we'll talk about, adrenal fatigue. I prefer the word adrenal dysfunction because we're talking about adrenals that they aren't diseased, but they're just not functioning optimally. And so we'll dive into that topic today. Before we do, smash the like button. And if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up and I'd love to see your comments down below. So sea salt, very important. One, most good sea salts are going to have lots of different trace minerals and other electrolytes in it that are very good for your body, for your adrenals, especially ones that are higher in potassium or magnesium or good clean sodium chloride. They can provide building blocks for your mitochondria, for your adrenals, to make hydrochloric acid for digestion. So really important. Now, the more we have adrenal dysfunction or adrenal problems, the more we pee through our minerals, right? The outer part of the adrenal glands called the glomerular fascicularis, that's the outer part of the adrenal glands, that deals a lot with the salt part, the electrolyte part of the adrenals. So essentially it goes something like salt, sugar, sex. The deeper in you get, the better it gets. That's kind of how you remember the layers of the adrenal. The outside salt, then the middle is going to be the corticosteroids dealing with sugar, and then the innermost is going to deal with the sex hormones, and then the most is the stress hormones. That's the adrenal, and that's the medulla. So that's how you remember the top 3 to 4 layers of the adrenal glands. Now, when we have adrenal dysfunction, it's going to be harder for us to hold on to those minerals, especially magnesium, potassium. Our body will buffer that and use that to deal with stress and inflammation. And so one, you got to work on the adrenal side on one side. The other one, you got to add in more electrolytes because as you lose it, we got to compensate for the electrolytes that we're losing. So you want to fix the adrenals so you can hold on to the electrolytes, but 2, you got to give more in. So you want to hit it from both sides, not just one side over the other. Hope that makes sense. And like little lunch check here. This is a live video, by the way. I got some skipjack tuna. I got some avocado oil. I got like some microgreens there, some carrots, some cucumbers. That's my lunch here, rocking out in between. So I hope you guys enjoy. So we'll talk about my top 4 to 5 sea salt brands. I'm going to give you pros and cons. I'm going to give you clinical input on it, what I've done the last decade or so, and I'll break it down for you. This is something near and dear to my heart, so I'm going to give you my actual feedback. All right, so first off, healthy sea salt brands for adrenal deep dive. Okay, so first one, Celtic. This is one of the first brands I ever used. This is coastal Brittany, right off the coast of France, right? Clay-lined salt beds. It's a little bit moist. It's a little coarse. I don't love the coarseness. A lot of good trace minerals, 80 different trace minerals, very high in magnesium. Again, big thing, great for hydration. You have the extra magnesium in there. Again, recommended. We recommend it. A lot of people in functional medicine circles use it. It's in a lot of different adrenal cocktails, all right? Moisture makes it hard for grinders. It's true. I have my grinder and I have a little shaker and it clumps. I'm going to tell you the brands that clump and which ones don't. This one clumps in the grinders. So it's definitely harder on humid environments, may have microplastics. So you may see certain things in the news. Oh, there's microplastics. It's possible, right? It's possible, but we got a big ocean out there. So it's hard to say how much of an issue it is, but it's definitely possible. Good finishing salt, right? Good for electrolyte drinks. I think this is okay. I think everyone should just try all of the 4 or 5 that I recommend, see which ones resonate with you because they're all pretty darn good. It's just going to come down to what your personal preference is, okay? So best for cooking, electrolytes. Now, my favorite's Redmond's. I've used Redmond's for over a decade. It's technically about 72 trace minerals. I love the fact that you want the fine ground. They have a kosher version here. But if you look on it, it says fine ground right there. You want to make sure it's fine. There is a kosher one. So first off, it blends really good. It's not in the ocean, so you don't have to worry about any ocean toxicity, which is great. It's very fine ground, so it works very well in a salt shaker. A lot of the good electrolyte products on the market use this in it. So I like it. The taste is wonderful. It blends very well in the water. The issue with some of the big ones like the Celtic, and you could probably grind it yourself and make it more fine or get a fine grind version of this, is that the salts are so heavy. So when you put it in like your drink, they really stay to the bottom because they're so heavy. So I recommend you get like a really nice USB milk frother, USB-C like chargeable milk frother, put it in, blend it for like 10 seconds. That way it's in the water, it's suspended in the water, and then you can drink it down and shoot it. But every morning I do about a half a teaspoon of my real salt with some of my potassium synergy. Because a lot of these salts you're going to find don't have super high levels of potassium or magnesium. There are some that have more magnesium and more potassium. Like we'll talk about Baja Gold, probably the highest for magnesium, but it's still only like 5, 10, 15 milligrams. It's still not a lot, right? But it's better. All right, so my favorite here out of the gate, big pros out of the gate, no microplastics. They lab test it, right? Long shelf life, right? The big meme out there is you see the sea salt, the 10,000-year-old dead sea salt or 10,000-year-old sea salt that expires in a year. It's like, oh man, I just got unlucky by 1 year, right? That 10,000-year-old salt expired. So a lot of these salts are not going to expire as long as they don't get like a ton of humidity to them. They're not going to expire. All right, so lab tested for purity, long shelf life, doesn't clump. Okay, lower in magnesium. All right, some people say there's some trace minerals of lead and arsenic. I've run the numbers on this. It's like over 100 times under the EPA safe limit. And so, based on what you're using it, you're always going to find some of these at micro doses in the soil. It's the therapeutic, should say, the high dose levels that are going to hurt you. So, when you're well over 100x, I'm not that worried about it. And there's a lot of other good electrolytes in there. So, I'm not that worried about it. I love the flavor. It is very earthy. I like it. It's very, very good. Like some of the Celtic and Himalayan are very good too, but I enjoy it. I like how it blends. And I recommend like you have like a salt in a shaker that you use, and then you can also have like a finishing salt. And so I'll give you my take on those. So like Redmond's, again, the levels are a little bit overplayed, earthy flavor, great for a grinder, great for daily table salt. Himalayan next, okay? So there's a couple different brands that are out there, dry, light to dark pink, a lot of trace minerals in there, right? More iron, more calcium, very aesthetic, very pretty. The pink is really cool, right? Great for scrubs, great for soaks. I like it. It's very good. A lot of counterfeit brands. Make sure that you have third-party testing that shows heavy metal content. Again, same kind of thing. Less worried about some of the toxins and the microplastics. But usually when you have levels that they show a little bit of a contamination, usually it's way 100x or more below the safe limit. So it becomes less of a problem. Okay, so Baja Gold, really nice. Okay, very high in magnesium, very cool. It's very moist and flaky. This is a wonderful finishing salt. I'll use as a finishing salt on my steak. All right, it is not good for a salt shaker. It clumps up. So not good for a salt shaker unless you have one that has like really big holes that it can slip through. Not good. Great for hydration. This is the highest in magnesium by far. Still not a ton. It's not going to be enough to say like you can't do magnesium supplements. You should probably still supplement magnesium, but you'll get more magnesium with your meal, or if you're adding it to your water. Very good. Very nice flavor. Very savory. That's an excellent, I would say, description of how that looks. And again, moisture content does cause some clumping. Can't be used in most grinders. I 100% agree. Very good for adrenal cocktail. So big snapshot out of the gate. Celtic, moist, moderates, low heavy metal. Redmond's, drier. Best in water. I like it in water. Very, very good. Very, very good. Just making a note on that. Okay. Himalayan, dry, very good. Batches can be a variable. Baja Gold, very moist, low heavy metals, great magnesium, great electrolyte support. All right, other things to note. None of these salts have extra iodine in it, so be mindful of that. No extra iodine, which is a good thing because if someone needs iodine and they have Hashimoto's, we got to be careful because that could maybe increase their antibody. So if we have to add extra iodine in, you really want to do it one at a time. And, ideally you stick to around the RDA 150 micrograms and you go up incrementally from there. You don't want to go high dose. So there are some iodized salts that are there that are going to have more of that. Again, these are not going to be that. So don't worry about it. Contaminants, all salts contain trace heavy metals, but it's going to be very, very low. I'm not that worried about it. Microplastics, probably more in the Celtic, maybe more in the Baja, with less in the Redmonds and the Himalayan. All right, so salt isn't just about magnesium and potassium. This is where we may have to add this separately. So I recommend my potassium synergy. That's a 10-to-1 potassium to magnesium. It's about 1,200 to about 120 magnesium because there's not enough potassium in these products. When you have POTS or adrenal dysfunction, you're going to pee out a lot of these minerals. So I recommend combining a potassium, magnesium, and then your favorite sea salt. So like a half a teaspoon of the potassium synergy with a half a teaspoon of your favorite sea salt. That's going to be great for adrenal function. Take that once or twice a day or put it in your big Hydro Flask or Yeti Rambler if you're going to play pickleball or you're going to be out sweating, right? That's what I do. So big recommendations. Best for purity. My overall favorite one is Redmond's. Wonderful. Best for hydration and also a good finishing salt is the Baja Gold. Very flaky, very nice. Not good for shakers. And then gourmet use, Himalayan, really pretty. That pink is awesome. Celtic, a little bit more on the gray. Some of this is going to be personal preference, right? Everything I mentioned, there's no deal breaker here for me. So the rest is going to be personal preference. I just kind of give you a little compare and contrast. So if you're trying to figure out what to do, gives you an idea. I think you can't go wrong with the Redmonds. You can't go wrong with the Baja Gold. That's a great finishing salt for steaks. And then everything else, try to get smaller samples from it and see what works best for you. I'll put links down below the video of where you can get all these salts. Simple. I'll put smaller sizes in there so you can kind of test it out, see what works for you. But again, it's really important that you want to get your electrolytes and your sea salt dialed in, especially if you have adrenal dysfunction. That's really easy, low-hanging fruit. Now, on the adrenals, you may want to get your adrenals and hormones looked at. That's where a good Dutch test can be amazing, very helpful. So if you want to dive in deeper and look more at the hormones and the adrenal function, which can tell you more about how you're holding on to your electrolytes, because if you have weak cortisol levels or dysfunction there or low DHEA, that could be impacting your electrolytes too. So if you're getting dizzy when standing up or any of those POT symptoms, right? Postural, orthostatic, tachycardia, heart rate, heart rhythm issues, yeah, that's a thing to look at. So if you want to dive in deeper, need functional medicine support worldwide, there'll be a link for you down below to click and reach out to my staff and team to see if you're a good fit for that support. All right, guys, have an awesome day. And if you enjoyed it, let me know down below. All right, have a good one. Take care, y'all.